Good evening, my fellow brothers and sisters. My name is Nelson Gill. Welcome to my channel where I talk about love, life, and relationships, and the most important, God. Today's title is, Can Men and Women Be Friends? And my answer to that is no. And the reason why I bring this up today is because of my last video. I had mentioned in my video about sexual abstinence, where I share my testimony and a brief teaching. I had mentioned one of my tips was to not have friends of the opposite sex, especially for a man. But I mean, it could go either way. But I can only speak for a man's point of view because I'm a male. I guess that goes without saying. But anyways, can men and women be friends? And I want to go ahead and break this down for you guys the best way that I can. So please just try to listen and understand what I am saying. So, can men and women be friends? I say no. There are plenty of reasons why. But first and foremost, I have to tell you this. Biologically, we are not designed to be friends. We are humans, human beings, male and female. And so, just to let you guys know, before there was ever a social construct, any society, when there was just, grass and field, and it was just humans and animals before any buildings were made, male and female didn't look each other as friends. It was just mates. Okay? So let me just put that into perspective real quick, because some people seem to forget that we are still human beings, and that you really can't forget that. So that's my first explanation. Secondly, so now we're gonna get down to real technical parts about this topic, and it is, what is a friend? And so I looked up the Google definition, and I have my own definition. And so there are the Google definition that I seen, and you guys can search it up. I can't look it up right now, but from what I could recollect, it says two people who have mutual affection for one another. And so, with that being said, friends is a two-way street. And it says mutual affection for one another. So that means in order for someone to be friends, it has to be mutual feeling. It has to be mutual. It has to match. So that's first and foremost. And so my definition, because the term the term friends is somewhat subjective, and so my definition of friends is someone you could confide to, someone you share your feelings with, your innermost feelings with, someone you can rely on, someone you can trust, someone who's got your back no matter what, thick or thin, it doesn't matter. And those are very, believe this or not, but those are very high standards. And this is the reason why you hear people say all the time, oh, only got like 4 or 5 friends, because it is hard to find people that are trustworthy, that are loving, no matter what the circumstance is. And I tell people all the time, you're not my friend. Jesus is my friend. because Jesus always looks out for me. He always has his best interest for me. The Spirit, God. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, to me personally, when you really think about that term I just gave you, that definition of friend, that really sounds like a partner to me, right or wrong. That sounds like a partner, somebody you confide to, somebody you share your innermost, deeper feelings with, someone you can rely on, someone you trust, and someone you frequent with, somebody you spend a lot of time with. That's what you consider a friend. And so the difference in the technical difference now, friend is someone that, you know, you are not having sex with. And so when you think about that term though that I just gave you, is that although you can have someone of the opposite sex that you're not having sex with and you can consider them a friend, you have to understand is that there's an emotional and a spiritual connection between you and this friend. And although nothing has externalized and nothing has manifested into a fleshly desire, there is still attraction between the man and the woman. And so this is why I do not believe that men and women can be friends, because it's just not reality. It's just not the way things were made to be as humans. And so people ask me like, oh, you know, okay, Nelson, so if you don't have friends of the opposite sex, then how will you get to know your wife? How would you get to know your wife? And so I want to go ahead and answer that question because I seen that in the comment. And so, I don't have friends of the opposite sex because I'm not trying to have any emotional attachment with the opposite sex. I want to leave myself open for my future wife, but I can still, just because I'm not giving someone the title of being a friend, I can still interact and have relationships with women. That doesn't mean that they have to be my friend. Like I said, I consider women to be a sister of the Lord, or a co-worker, or my boss, or a boss. I don't know. Whatever she is, and in the current circumstance, that is what she is to me. But when I go home, when I'm headed home, that's it. They're not my friend. I'm not hanging out with them frequently. So, how I can meet my wife is that I can meet, let's just say, for example, let's say I frequent at a church, right? I go ahead and make conversations with a couple of the sisters by chance, not by choice, because I run into them because of where I frequent. It's by chance and it's not by choice. I don't go out my way. I don't go to church to go and meet up with this person. I go to church to go and serve God and to be served by God. It's just by chance that I so happen to meet another sister, another woman around me. So I build a relationship solely based off of the circumstance. And so if I begin to have a feeling arise, then I will approach this woman and ask her out on a date as a friend. And so then is when I make a woman to be a friend. So that is how I would meet a wife. That's an example. I could meet a woman at my job and she could be a client of mine. She may have a kid that gets his hair cut frequently, and it's not by choice that I choose her to be my client. It's by chance. I just so happened to have cut her kid. She liked the haircut. She kept on coming back. I don't know her intentions. Maybe she could have been like, yo, I like this guy. You know, maybe she really wanted to meet me or whatever. I don't know. But it was by chance that me and this woman met. And so that is how I can make okay, so let's just say I see this woman frequently and a feeling starts to arise. I can ask her out as a friend and then date her as a friend. And so, you know, when I make a woman out to be my friend, I'm looking to date her as a friend. And so dating doesn't have to be a committed thing. We can date, get to know each other real quick, and if we like the way things are going, then we could continue to date. And so I believe in, you know, I believe in dating a woman as a friend and then becoming a lover in marriage. And so when I decide, when me and this person decide not to progress in this quote unquote friendship and dating phase, then we're no longer friends. She's a sister of the Lord. She's my client. She's my co-worker. She's my boss. She could be anything. But to me, that is who she is. And I will not love her any less, respect her any less, for whatever reason, just because I don't label her as my friend. I always tell this to people. 1, you do not put your trust into man, but you do not stop loving your brother and sister. And so I try my very best to disperse my love equally with everybody. It doesn't matter who it is, family or not family. I want to show people the love of God all the time. All the time. I want to show everybody the love of God. That is where my heart is at, personally. And so I want to get down to some other levels of why I believe that men and women can be friends. And so, you know, I remember, and men and women being friends, it doesn't mean that person has to be attractive, or, you know, it doesn't mean that person has to be attractive in order for you to gain attraction to them. It could be somebody who's not attractive. And I'm gonna give you this example. I remember it was last year. I met a young lady at a church one time, and I would see her frequently by chance. And I'm telling you, I was not attracted to this girl. She's not my type. I honestly, when I first seen her, I was like, who is this looks challenged woman? I personally, hey, listen, I'm just being real with you. She didn't look good to me like that. And so I wasn't really sweating her like that. But I see her And of course, I'm going to show love to her. I'm going to be nice to her because, like I said, I want to treat everyone equally, and I want to show people the love of God. And so, you know, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if you're looks challenged or if you're mentally challenged. I'm still going to show you love no matter what. And so, and so, so this girl, you know, we see each other frequently. We build a rapport / relationship. And I remember this one evening we were fellowshipping after church, and she told me, she said this to me. She said, "You know what, Nelson? I really appreciate our friendship." And I was like, friendship? What are you talking about? We don't even we never chill. Like, we don't even talk like that. Like, we just see each other at the church. Like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't even know me, but you appreciate our friendship? We don't even hang out. We don't even talk. I mean, yeah, we talk at church, but we don't contact each other. We don't even talk on the phone. How are we even friends? I don't get that. I don't understand why people use that term so loosely. And like, I just don't understand why. I don't get that. But I remember when she had said that, I started to look at her differently. I started actually like my attraction to her actually started to change, because like that like kind of softened me up. I was like, oh wow, like I was so like, I guess I don't know how to explain the word. I was caught off guard, and it was a very nice thing to say. I was like, wow, like she considers me to be her friend. I was really confused there, to be honest. And so, you know, it was at that point that I started to gain attraction for her. And so she told me that we're friends, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, what does she appreciate or whatever? And so I figured, you know, I'd go ahead and you know, ask this girl out on a date. Anywho, that's my point. Men and women can't be friends, because listen to this. I'm talking to a woman, right? A young lady that I see by chance, and she just tells me that, you know, she appreciates our friendship. That already stirred something inside of me, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, you know, let's get to know each other on a more deeper level. And anyways, yo, I don't know why I even busted out that story, but it's cool. Anyways, so that's just an example of why I don't believe men and women can be friends. Is just me as a personal thing, and I believe that I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and just boldly say that every man is like this. I don't know not one man who has, you know, a multitude of women friends. You think about it, anyone who's got a lot of women friends, think about that. you know they not rolling, you know, the straight way. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you got to really think about that, honestly. Men, women, not created to be friends. And so, yeah, so what I also want to say is that you have to understand and I can't go real deep into this, but the masculine and feminine energy, and how those two go together. Excuse me. Anyways, masculine and feminine energy, and how those two they go together. And so, like, to say that a man and a woman can have a platonic friendship, I always tell people it's only platonic because nothing has externalized yet. Nothing has manifested into the flesh just yet. But I mean, if you leave somebody long enough, to have a friendship, have a connection, two people of opposite sex, then you're bound to connect in the physical eventually, if they're able to, they're capable to, of course. I'm just speaking from my personal story. I've had like plenty of ladies that were friends at first. It always starts off as friends. And then before you know it, there's an isolated moment between the two of you. And let me tell you something. It always goes like this. It's either one person is interested and the other one isn't. And the other one isn't. Or both of them are interested and they're just not interested in being together on a more committed level. But I'm telling you right now, men and women being friends, that doesn't exist. Because as a man, you're looking for a wife and kids. You're looking to build a family. And so when you're building a family, there's no such thing as friends. Ain't no such thing as friends. It's your wife and your kids. And those are the only thing that matter to you as a man. Like I said, I really hold friends to a high standard. Somebody you really trust, somebody you really confide with, somebody like you tell your innermost deeper feelings with, and somebody you can really understand in a deeper level. A man can't understand a woman in certain ways, and vice versa. A woman can't understand a man in certain ways. Only men know men. Women know women. I said this in one of my comments in my other video. I think that, and I don't know all the churches, but I feel like churches really need to have a women's ministry and a men's ministry separate, where a godly woman teaches women to be godly, and a godly man teaches men to be godly. Because a man cannot minister to a woman. He doesn't go through the same temptations, the same, sufferings that a woman goes through. It's not the same. And so for a man and a woman to be friends, it doesn't make any sense. They can't share the same conversations. A man doesn't have tampons. A man doesn't have a period once a month. There's just so many different things that men can't relate with women. Most men don't have long hair. Most men don't shave their legs. There's just so many different things that women do that men don't. And so it's like, how can men and women honestly be friends, platonic friends, where there's no hidden agenda behind each other or whatever. Like I said, most friends of the opposite sex, it's always one likes the other and the other one doesn't. So I really want to encourage you guys to stay in your lane. Focus on yourself. and make friends of the same sex. If you're looking to be married, if you're looking to be faithful, if you're looking to sexually abstain, stay away from having friends of the opposite sex. Because it never works. It never works. And you know, you know what? Let me tell you this. I believe, this is my personal belief, but that girl that was telling me she appreciates our friendship, I believe down low key she likes me, and that's the reason why she was calling me a friend, because we don't even communicate like that. Ain't no we don't talk like that. So in order for you to be calling me a friend, you gotta have some sort of thing, and you thinking that, she must have been thinking that, I got this man who likes me, he's my friend. I got this man who likes me, he's my friend. And she's trying to line up her eggs and figure out which one's gonna be the best one to hatch, or which one's gonna be the best one to birth, whatever you call it. But be careful with who you calling friends. Like, be careful with, having friends of the opposite sex, because you don't know the heart of that person. The Bible talks about, it says, the heart is desperately wicked. The heart is deceitful above all else. It says the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? And so, I don't know if there's anything else that I could really say on this subject, but I just want to encourage you guys to just stay focused on yourself. Friends, they come and go. They come and go like seasons. I'm telling you. Stay true to yourself. And one thing I know about friends is that it's an unspoken bond. You ain't got to say it. You ain't got to tell nobody I'm your friend. You just know it. You just know it. You ain't got to talk about it. You ain't got to say it. Anyways, God bless you all. If you have any comments, please comment, like, subscribe, and thank you all for listening. Love you all. Have a good night.